At the beginning of the film story, we see a boy whose name is Thongdi. He was running away from some horse riders. He had a strange smile on his face. Along with this, we are shown the childhood story of Thongdi. When he was running away from some boys. While running, he reaches the market, where he also strikes a woman. After this, he escaped from those boys and came to a club, where some fighting skills were taught. There some children were fighting with each other. And here the ways of fighting were taught. The head here was none other than Thongdi's uncle. Thongdi also wanted him to learn the ways of fighting. That's why he tells his uncle to include him in his club. But his uncle clearly refuses by saying that your dad will never allow this. That's why go and get permission from your dad first. Then only I can include you in my club. Thongdi's uncle agrees when he says a lot. When he sees Thongdi's fighting skills, he was also surprised. That's when Thongdi's dad came there, who takes him to the temple with him. There he introduces him to the monk and tells him that my son is always in trouble. And he also fights with the governor's son all the time. Hearing this, the monk says, "Don't be afraid. Your son is very intelligent. That's why small children keep fighting at this age." But after this, Thongdi comes out of the temple. As soon as he comes out, the children who were following him start troubling him again. That's why he decides that no matter what happens, he will definitely learn how to fight. Now, as he gets a little trained, he incites those children towards him, so that they come to fight him. And what he had thought is exactly the same. Thongdi had a fight with those children. In the middle of this fight, Thongdi beats the governor's son. The other boy here says that you have beaten the governor's son. Now it will not be good for you. You will not survive. After this, we come to the beginning of the story, where we saw Thongdi running. He had grown up now. He was running away from some horse riders. Thongdi disappears from the eyes of those people after a while. Now the head of those horse riders tells his people to separate and look for Thongdi. But they can't even find him apart. Thongdi was competing with each one here. He also drops the head and runs away with his horse. Poor head could not do anything. He had no choice but to vent his anger on his people. Now the head comes to his dad, who was the governor of the village. Here we come to know that the head was the same child whom Thongdi had beaten in childhood. Seeing all this, the governor was angry. That's why he sends his son to look for Thongdi again. There we see Thongdi, who had reached another fighting club, where he is fighting with another man. Here he had won more than 2 fights. Then a man comes here and challenges Thongdi to fight with him. Thongdi also agreed with what that man said. But here his fate does not support him. He falls down at the first punch of that man, and he fell into the water and fainted. After a while, when Thongdi comes to his senses, a drunkard with him, who tells him in his intoxication, "You have a lot of ability, but you lose because of your overconfidence. It means that you have this show-off in you, that you show in front of others, that you will win very soon." And he says that you need this training. After this, Thongdi reaches another club, where he goes quietly and joins those people who were learning the skill of fighting. But soon he is caught. The head asks him, "What are you doing here?" When Thongdi tells him about himself and shows his fighting skills, the head of the club very soon agrees that he will give him more training. Now, Thongdi starts living in that club. But here, Thongdi made a mistake. He tells the club head his name is wrong, because of which he was going to get into trouble very soon. Here, the club head's daughter is also there. She was also very fond of fighting. But because of her father's fear, she could never say that she also wants to learn these skills. One day when Thongdi was training, the governor's son comes there, to whom Thongdi hit him and ran away. Actually, he got the news that Thongdi is hidden in this club. Here the governor's son comes and takes Thongdi's name and asks those people where he is. But no one knew anything, because they did not even know the real name of Tongdi. Therefore, the governor's son now punishes all the villagers that they have hidden a criminal in this club. But soon Tongdi comes out there and tells about himself. Villagers could not do anything here, because Tongdi had lied to them. Therefore, the governor's son now takes Tongdi with him. And to teach him a lesson, his soldiers set fire to the houses in that village. When Tongdi sees everyone worried, he bravely unties the rope that the governor's son had tied and attacks those soldiers. Seeing all this, the governor's son saves his life and runs away from him. After the fight, Tongdi apologizes to all the villagers that they got into so much trouble because of him. Here the club's head tells Tongdi that there is another place where you can learn fighting skills. Because I know you are passionate about this thing, and you will learn everything soon. After knowing all this, Tongdi had left that village. Now, when he was going from here, he met another boy on the way. Here we come to know that the boy wanted to learn fighting skills with Tongdi. He had been following Tongdi for a long time. Soon they both reach a theater, where a fighting show is being shown. They both spend the whole night watching the show. When Tongdi was watching that show, he came to know a very strange thing. That the man who was showing the show, that actor, was jumping very easily. Now Tongdi gets a chance and goes behind that theater, where he meets another man whose name is Mr. Lee. Tongdi meets Mr. Lee and says, I also want to learn such skills. But Mr. Lee had clearly refused him. Now Tongdi had no other way. That's why he also became an actor in the theater, so that he can learn some fighting skills through this show. Now when the show ends, Tongdi makes Mr. Lee drink a lot of alcohol. And on this pretext, he also convinces him that he will teach him fighting skills. After this, the scene shifts to the governor's son. He rides a horse in the jungle and attacks someone with his companion. Here we come to know the governor's son always did wrong things. That's when Tongdi also reached there, who competes with the governor's son's army, and defeated those people and made them run away from there. Whom the governor's son attacked was none other than a girl. Tongdi had saved that girl's life. That girl thanks Tongdi and also gives him a ring by removing it from her hand. Seeing this, Tongdi was not able to understand anything. That's when the girl tells Tongdi to keep this ring with you until I meet you again. Saying this, the girl left from there. After this, Tongdi also reaches that camp, about which he was told by the head of the first club. The head of the camp meets Tongdi and tells him to fight with one of his students first, so that he can see that Tongdi is such a good fighter. Tongdi fights with that student and defeats him in the first punch. Seeing this, the head of the camp was ready to keep Tongdi in his camp, and now he was going to train him. The head of the camp tells him that a competition is going to take place very soon. After a few days, Tongdi meets the same girl again, whom he had saved from the governor's son in the jungle. Tongdi returns the ring to the girl, but now she refuses to take the ring, and also says that very soon you will know the real owner of it. You will have to give this ring to him. Now soon the day of the competition had also come. Tongdi defeats everyone one by one here. Seeing all this, the head of his camp is very happy, and along with that he gives him a letter, in which was the address of the other camp, so that he can go there and learn the remaining skills, and become a good fighter. Tongdi now listens to that head and comes to his other master. There he now learns things about which he did not even know. The master teaches him to fight with weapons. When Tongdi was passing through the jungle with his companion, so there the governor's son's uncle had seen him. Together with his people, they attack Tongdi. Now a friend of Tongdi, while fighting with those people, becomes very injured. Tongdi was very angry to see all this. Kills all those people, the one who had hurt Tongdi's friends. Seeing this, the governor's son's uncle ran away from there. Now, Tongdi quickly makes his friend sit on the horse and had gone to the village so that he can go there and get his friend treated. But no one was ready to help him after reaching the village. Even the villagers start fighting with him. Then a man comes to help him. He gets Tongdi's friend treated, because of which Tongdi's friend's life was saved. When Tongdi asks that man his name, then he tells his name as Run. Tongdi says to Run, "You have helped me, and it is your favor on me. I will definitely pay you back for this." Hearing this, Run left from there. After which Tongdi meets the same girl again, the girl whom he had saved in the jungle. That girl tells Tongdi that the governor of this village is very fond of watching fights. That's why he is going to hold a fight competition here soon, and I want you to take part in it. Tongdi, after hearing all this, was ready to take part in that competition. Now in this competition, Tongdi meets the same fighter who had defeated him at the beginning of the story. And here we come to know that that man was none other than the uncle of the governor's son. Tongdi now fights with that man and defeats him. Seeing all this, the governor of the village sends his other fighter. Tongdi had also defeated that new fighter. Now after this competition, the governor of the village tells all the people to leave from here. And those who had won the competition, he tells them to stop there. At that time, some people had attacked here and killed the governor. Seeing this, Tongdi competes with those people. He was wearing a mask on his face when Tongdi removes a man's mask from those people. Then he finds out that that man was none other than Run, who had helped his friend in the village. Seeing this, Tongdi was about to kill Run. Then he remembers the favor. That's why he holds a gun in Run's hand and says, Kill me, 'cause I can't kill you. You have done me a great favor, you saved my friend." Now as soon as Run fires a gun at Tongdi, then he sees that there were no bullets in that gun. Then Run starts laughing here and says to Tongdi that this was your test, since you saved that girl's life in the jungle. Since then my eyes have been on you. Here the governor of this village was none other than Run. Run tells Tongdi that you join my army, but Tongdi refuses him. Now he puts a challenge in front of him, says, "Come and fight with me. Whoever loses in this fight, he will listen to the other person and will become his slave." Tongdi agrees with Run's words. After which, the fight starts between the two. With this, the story goes a little further. We see Tongdi in a soldier's clothes. He was with the governor's army and was fighting with some people behind the governor. That means that Tongdi had lost that fight, and now he had to listen to Run, that is the governor. He has become his slave. And with this, Tongdi's story also ends here.